Hey guys, welcome to week 2 of e-learning. We're going to start the next few weeks. We're going to be doing common sense media on how to be a good digital citizen and how to protect yourselves online. Today's lesson is about the rings of responsibility: self, community, and world. So we're going to ask ourselves, how do good digital citizens take responsibility for themselves, their communities, and their world? By the end of this lesson, we want to make sure we can examine both online and in-person responsibilities, describe the rings of responsibility as a way to think about how our behavior affects ourselves and others, and identify examples of online responsibilities to others. Responsibility is our first vocab word, and it is a duty you have to yourself or others. Being responsible means you take care of yourself and those around you and give them the best chances. So we're going to start with this video about the rings of responsibility.
No. Imagine if you threw an empty plastic bottle on your bedroom floor. Now, what if it's a bunch of bottles and they spill into the street and eventually end up in the ocean? Your action would have a ripple effect. It would affect you, your community, and even the world. And just like what we do in person, what we do online has a huge impact. What we say online, what we share online, and what we create online doesn't just affect our lives, but the lives of our families, friends, community, and people all around the world. That's why it's so important to think before we act. Use the rings of responsibility as your guide. Always be responsible to yourself, to your community, and to your world.
The rings of responsibility. So in the video we learned about being responsible and how it's important to be responsible for ourselves, for our community, and our world. And that represents the rings of responsibility. In the center is ourselves. And we do things that we consider that are good for ourselves. And that center ring, such as keeping ourselves safe and healthy. The next ring is our community, the middle ring. It's responsibilities that you have to your community, including people you know and interact with on a regular basis. Can be just both friends and family, but it can also be people that you don't know well, but that you interact with, like in a grocery store or a friend in an online gaming community. And the last ring is the world, the outer ring. It stands for our responsibility to the larger world. This would include people we don't know, but whom our actions might affect. So now you want to ask yourself and think about how are you responsible for these different parts of the world around you, yourself, your community, and the world as a whole. Think of some ways that you can be responsible for yourself, such as what you eat, how you keep your bedroom, how much TV you watch, or time you spend on the internet. Ask yourself, how do you keep yourself responsible for your community? Do you help neighbors? Do you follow rules in the neighborhood? And what about the world as a whole? How do you keep yourself responsible for the world? What do you do with garbage? How do you respond and react to people when you are online? Our online responsibility requires us to be a good digital citizen. Digital citizen is someone who uses technology responsibly to learn, create, and participate, to be a good upstander online. All right, so I'm going to just read some statements here, and I want you to think about what kind of a digital citizen, or where are you being responsible when I go over these different sentences. Is this something that you're being responsible for yourself, for your community, or for the world as a whole? So if I were to say, I never tell anyone my full name online, that would be taking care of yourself. And that's how you protect your own privacy. Now, when you think about some of these other ones here, I only use apps and websites that are okay for someone my age. Who are you protecting? Who are you being responsible for? Yourself, your community, or your world? I never share things about my friends that they wouldn't want other people to know. Is that yourself, your community, or your world? I don't post or share information online if I'm not sure that it's true. And our fourth question here is, I treat others with respect in person or online. Who are you being responsible for when you think about these four different examples? What you're going to do next is there's going to be a little project in your assessment here after the video. You'll start the assignment, and it's going to give you the opportunity to choose 3 colors. And you're going to color in next to the boxes which 3 colors you want to use for yourself, your community, and your world. Then there's going to be statements. After each statement, you're going to fill in the circle that statement matches up with. Yourself, your community, or your world. All right, pick one example from my rings of responsibility and write an explanation of why it belongs in the ring that you chose for it. All right, so I'm going to have that at the bottom here. You'll have that, and there will be a short, 5-question quiz as well, just to make sure that we understood everything in today's lesson and that we're being safe, good digital citizens. All right, guys, have fun.